Hiya, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my video. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know that all my videos are aimed at, if you like, improvement, helping your finances, obviously helping you be a better person, basically to just, if you like, help you with different aspects of personal development of your life. I'm just doing this video, a quick video, because I was actually watching a great video the other day, and it's made me really want to, if you like, elaborate a little bit more on what I actually saw. And that was this guy. This guy was talking about, obviously, when you're talking to people, about how you should speak and how you obviously got to try and come across. If you're talking to somebody about something, whether you're trying to sell them something or if you're just talking to somebody in the street and you're communicating, what this guy was saying was it's all very well to talk about, obviously what words to use and how to actually say the words. But what he was saying was that there's actually so much behind the actual spoken word. It's literally how you say it. Yeah. This, if you like, is the secret to people who I think do well in sales. I'm actually in sales, and it's not necessarily about what you say. It's the manner in which you actually say it. And this guy I'm sorry, I don't know. I haven't got the guy's name, but I was a little bit. I thought it was great what he was saying, because what he was saying was that there's four areas that people look at when they are when they're talking. When someone's talking to you, there's four areas or four things that might come across in your voice and obviously in your tone. And this guy was saying that the first one was honesty. And if you think about it, this really is a big part of who you are. If when you're talking to someone, you're spinning them a load of old rubbish, this I think will come across. And if you are to, if you like, to achieve and do better in your life, you've got to really work on that area of your life. Obviously we all make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but being honest and obviously doing what you can for people that you love, and even for people that are just around you. Being honest. My dad, he always used to say to me, honesty is obviously the good, obviously the best policy. Yeah. Obviously be authentic. Be like, be who you are. Don't try and pretend to be someone else, but just be aware of what you're saying and how you're actually saying it, because people pick up on this. I'm very good at if you like, reading people, and sometimes I've met people in my life, and I can literally tell within a minute or even 30 seconds of speaking to that person, whether this is a person that really does have qualities, if you like. um, you've obviously then got integrity. You need to have, obviously, you need to have integrity when you're speaking to someone. All these different things matter. They all make up who you are. And whilst there's been times in your life, if you like, when your integrity might be in doubt, you just need to be aware that you need to appreciate that you have to work on it all the time. Like I say, everybody makes mistakes, so you just need to work on all these different areas of your persona, if you like, if you want to improve and be a better person. And the last one, which I think is obviously important, is love and emotion. Yeah, so many times, obviously we're not talking about that when you're talking about someone that you don't know, but just how you come across, if you like, your concern, your empathy towards somebody, and how you are, how you react to different situations. It might be that you're in company and you're listening to something on the news, and there's something that on the news which is obviously disturbing, and you know, um, don't obviously be false about it. But if you are concerned about what you hear, then obviously it's good to talk and express your concern, because that is who you are. Yeah, like your emotions. Sometimes I know for a fact with me, I'm quite an emotional person, and some other men who might watch this might think that that's a weakness, but I actually don't think it is. I think if you're an emotional person, if you feel things and you obviously say what you feel, then that really is that's a quality. That's not something bad. That's actually a quality. Do you know what I mean? So, if you're talking to people and you just, the whole idea of this video is just to, if you like, express over to you that yes, you might have something to say, and you might have great knowledge in what you're talking about, yeah, but it ain't what you're. Obviously, it is what you're talking about, but it's also how you're expressing yourself, yeah. Even they're like, this guy, I can't remember the name of the guy's name now, but he was talking about how when you're, how to raise and lower your tone, because it must be something psychological that makes people think more about what you're saying when you say it differently. He was talking about when you're talking to old people, if you talk slowly and quietly, they'll be more inclined to listen to what you're saying. So again, if you're perhaps in a sales environment and you're talking to an elderly person, it's important that you slow down a bit and obviously express your words and perhaps you should be trying to use the right grammar anyway, but think about who you're talking to. That also goes the other way, in that if you're talking to somebody perhaps who's, for want of a better word, a bit more common than what you might be, then obviously how to bring your vocabulary down to their level. Because people like to be spoken to at the same level. Again, that is the art of sales, knowing how to, when you go into a situation and you're talking to somebody, knowing that, if you're talking to somebody who perhaps has a higher intellect, to raise your vocabulary so as not to be false, but just to be aware of that you're talking to somebody, if you like, who's at a bit of a slightly higher level, but also, equally importantly, to be able to reduce your vocabulary if you're talking to somebody who perhaps is not as educated as you. Yeah? You haven't got to worry about why they're not educated like you or why you're not as clever as what the other person is. You just need to be aware that this is the way of the world, and that when we're talking to people, we have to know how to talk to people at different levels, and we need to know that we need to engage these different qualities, if you like. Talking about being honest, with integrity, be authentic with what you're talking about, and obviously, use emotion, because this is what makes up conversation. It ain't just the words that you're using. It's something that I know. Um, Early on, I suffered a bit with. I perhaps, especially when I was going in people's houses, I knew what to say, I knew about the product, but it's about being able to handle people in the correct way and to be able to adjust yourself to that situation, because everybody's different. Everybody's different. You might have, perhaps when you might have met someone in the past, and you've perhaps took a dislike to them or thought that you don't like this person. Perhaps next time that happens to you, ask yourself, what is it that you don't like about them? Do a little experiment. It might be that you think because they're talking inappropriately, or because they're too loud, or because they're too quiet, they're too inward. Yeah. What is it that, because if you can look at people and kind of judge, what qualities or lack of quality, if you like, a person might have, then obviously that's giving you pointers to how you should be. Yeah. So I hope this video's helped you a little bit. I hope it's going to make you think, when you're engaged in a conversation, to obviously, if you like, be aware of what the other person's saying, that it's not obviously always about you. If the person asks a question, then obviously you need to ask the question back. But when you've finished answering that question, you need to allow the other person time to then think about what you've spoke about, and then for them to have their opinion, and perhaps to ask another question. Um, I'm going to end the video there. I hope this has been of help to you though, and I hope it's made you think a little bit more differently about when you're talking to people. Like I say, it ain't what you say. Obviously, what you say matters, but it's the manner in which you say it, because that is what will carry weight. Yeah, carry weight with obviously whoever you're talking to. I hope this has been of help. Please like my video. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, hit the little subscribe button, and I hope to see you on another one of my videos. Thank you so much. If you did watch to the end, thank you so much.